Police Quest SWAT is an incredible game. It's ultra-realistic with loads of digitized graphics, movie clips, and real-life SWAT tactics. What more could you ask for?
Well, let's see. How about more missions, less non-interactive video footage, and more freedom? I know that's a lot to ask, so I'd just settle for action sequences that felt less like a cross between Dragon's Lair and Whack-A-Mole.
Yowza, you really didn't like it.
Ain't that the truth?
You start the game as a rookie, spending the early stages of the game practicing your combat skills and learning SWAT tactics. There are chalkboards full of tactical information. There are interviews with real SWAT officers for you to learn from. There's just a ton of real-life information.
Yeah, but none of that stuff is really interactive. And I don't like reading rule books or watching interviews. I want to shoot somebody!
That's not what a real SWAT team member does.
Yeah, but it sure is fun.
Alright, I agree. The video clips get a little monotonous and you can't disable some of them. For example, you get to see yourself walking around a lot and that's no fun. Look, here I am on my way to the combat range.
And this is me getting ready for target practice. Boy, these little scenes sure add a lot to the game.
Well, they're not that bad, but you should be able to skip past them. Of course, in real life...
I know. In real life, you can't just skip to the fun parts. And Lord knows, this game is nothing if not realistic.
Now, if you want realism and you want details, just take a look at your gear. There's a wealth of detail in all of your equipment, and you can listen to as much or as little of it as you want.
I listen to none of it. Who cares what sort of trigger your .45 has? Who cares if they file down the barrel? Just as long as it makes a big hole in the thing I'm shooting at, I'm happy.
Well, even though you weren't interested, a lot of people care about those little details. Those are the people who will love this installment of Police Quest.
Right, and the people who don't care about all those little details just won't appreciate SWAT at all.
Lots of your spare time is spent on the shooting range. The video and audio clips make target shooting fun for a while, though I wouldn't want to do it all day.
This is pure filler. I got sick of shooting targets in a minute or two, and then I was ready to move on. Unfortunately, there isn't much else to do while you're waiting for a call-up. Of course, I did like shooting the pretty balloons.
Here's the old grease board, where you learn strategy for your SWAT missions. If you're a sniper or an assaulter, you check here for instructions. If you get promoted to element leader, this is where you devise your plans.
Unfortunately, tactics usually amount to doing what you're told, then trying to figure out why you got shot.
But that's realistic. You can't expect to defy orders left and right and still come out on top.
But I like defying orders. That's the fun part.
I admit that the missions are very linear. You have to perform a precise series of actions at exactly the right times, or else your mission will be a failure. Sometimes it's not clear what made you screw up, and that can be frustrating.
Plus, that's not realistic. In real life, you wouldn't have to struggle so much just to finish a simple call-up, and you wouldn't have to worry about clicking the mouse button in just the right location at just the right moment.
I'm sorry, son, but you're too sloppy with your mouse. I'm gonna have to ask you for your badge.
Yes, it's very easy to die in SWAT. Even old ladies are deadly as far as you're concerned.
After dying at the hands of Granny here several times, I was ready to quit the game.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like getting iced by Granny. The humiliation.
Shut up.
You do have a point here. All those deaths weren't too realistic. Sometimes I felt like I was playing Space Quest instead of Police Quest, since I kept dying every 3 minutes.
At least in Space Quest, you get to die in original ways. I swear, if Granny shoots me just one more time...
In the final analysis, Police Quest SWAT is a highly realistic game with rather limited interaction. Some players will love all the video clips and adore the attention to detail, while others will become annoyed with the rigid interactive sequences and the long delays while you wait for those interactive sequences to happen.
The designers of Police Quest boast that these games have been used to train real police officers. That may be true. SWAT felt more like a training film than a game to me. If you want the realism of a real teaching aid, then SWAT is for you. Otherwise, you might want to steer clear.
Hey, look out, it's Granny!
Help! Save me! Help!